Hey Board Game Maniacs, Maniac Rob here to bring you another gameplay. Now this game that we're going to play is called DungeonQuest. It is a game that is created by Fantasy Flight. Now they have so many great games out there, and I don't think I ever really played a Fantasy Flight game that I never liked. So we're going to give this one a shot. This here game is, again, it's like a dungeon crawl, and it's for 1 to 4 players. Now, what's important to me about the 1 to 4 players is I'm always looking for games that I can play solo on. So I don't always have the other maniacs here playing the game with me, so sometimes I just like to fly solo, and this is one of the times we're going to fly solo because we're going to play DungeonQuest, and I can't wait for this. I seen this into the game store Phoenix Rising, located in St. Catharines, Ontario. The owner Brian, I came in and he looked at it, he said, "Hey, look at this game I got." So I looked at it and I just started drooling automatically because I'm a big fan of like Dungeons and Dragons, and like dragon crawl, dungeon crawl kind of games. You fight a dragon, or if you go in dungeons, you fight monsters and everything. I'm a huge fan of it. Ever since I was a kid, I used to play D&D, the role-playing game. And then when they came out with, a company came out with the adventure board game system for D&D, I bought that too as well and played that, and I love that. So then, long story short, I seen this in Phoenix, and Brian showed it to me and I looked at it, so automatically it was a dungeon crawl game. I loved it, I wanted it, and then looking on the back and I read all the information, I even wanted it more, and then when I see it was 1 to 4 players, that just was the icing on the cake. I'm like, hey, I can play this myself. So, you know, I never played this game at all. It is open, there's no cellophane onto it, so when I bought it, I was going to do an unboxing video, which I did do an unboxing video, but the content got deleted for some strange reason. It just completely disappeared. I can't find it. If I do end up finding the unboxing video, I will definitely post that onto the page too as well, so you can see it. But right now, it's already opened. I got all of the cardboard popped out. I had everything else just set up and ready to go. I never played the solo game for this, so this is going to be the very first time that you see me playing the solo game. Now, because it is the first time, I'm just warning you ahead of time, there will probably be some rules mistakes because I don't know how to play the game. I'm just going to play, stop the video, read the book a little bit onto what I come across, and then start playing it again and record it more. So if you notice I have any rules mistakes or any errors or anything like that, or even if you just want to make a comment about the game, please just comment below, subscribe to like my channel, because, you know, here at Board Game Maniacs, we really try to pick games that will be a lot of fun and create a lot of arguments and banter, because we're all maniacs here anyhow. So anyhow, have a seat, get a cup of tea, you know, a water, whatever you want to do, and sit down and relax and watch this solo mission of DungeonQuest by Fantasy Flight Games. What you're looking at is the board game, and it's set up for a solo mission for the DungeonQuest by Fantasy Flight Games. So I just want to go over a couple of things before. This is not really like a tutorial in some sense, because I'm kind of just teaching myself how to play this. Again, I never played this solo mission at all, so this is going to be interesting. So it comes with a rules reference book, and also it comes with a learn to play reference book too as well. Now, one thing I noticed as soon as I picked this up is it's very light, which means there's only a small little bit of instructions in here, which is super great, because in total, for this, it only has 12 pages, so it's not too overwhelming with rules for this. Learn to play, how many pages does it have? 8 in total. So, again, it's nothing that's going to be too daunting for us to learn to play together here today. So I just want to go over a couple of setup stuff that I have here. So what the game does come with is 6 miniatures, but it's only 1 to 4. So it gives you an option that you can play 2, or, you know, like you have 2 extra ones so you can play. So this here guy, this is one of the miniatures. I'm not going to show all the miniatures, but I'm just showing the one that I'm using here. And this is just randomly selected. I didn't look through them and say like, hey, I'm going to play this guy because he's cool or whatever. I just chose this one. So this guy is Hugo the Glorious. So with Hugo here, he looks like he's kind of like a warrior or something. What I do know is on the cards, I don't know if you can get the shot of it or not, but on these cards it has stats onto it and then special abilities in that. So in the upper right you'll see a number which is 16. That is Hugo's health. Now every character does have different health just because they're different characters, obviously. So Hugo here has 16 health, and with Hugo he has special ability is, if you and a monster player chooses the same type of combat card, the monster player suffers 1 wound and you suffer 0 wounds, overriding the results listed on both combat cards. Well, I think that'd be pretty cool, because what it sounds like is, and watching online tutorials and video gameplay of this, I didn't really research it a lot, I just kind of skimmed through videos onto it, but the way combat works in this game, what I'm assuming, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. This is what everybody is saying. The combat's rock, paper, scissors, because hero, you get 3 combat cards and monsters get 3 combat cards, and then you just randomly draw one or look at them and draw one, and you put them down and you flip them over. Now, and they have certain types of, like you have melee, which is your close combat, you have range, and then you have magic. That's the 3 types of combat that you can do within either a hero or a monster too as well. So Hugo's ability, if just say for instance he played a magic combat, and then the monster played a magic combat. So if that happens, then with Hugo, the monster automatically suffers 1 wound, and Hugo suffers no wounds because you play the exact same kind of card. And again, that works also for the melee and for the range too as well. Because we're playing a solo game, the way you combat a monster kind of changes a little bit. We'll go over that. I will find that section in the book and I will read that to you so that we're on the same page. Because again, I did notice that in the book when I skimmed through it. But anyhow, we're just going to keep going. So that is my character, Hugo, and his miniature, again, just in case somebody wants to see the miniature. The miniatures all look pretty cool. You know, they're a little small, but hey, they're miniatures. That's why they're small, because they are miniatures. Exactly. All right. So anyhow, you also get like this is your first person token, so whenever the first player is, they use a key. Each player also has, these are character tokens. Now, with the character tokens, I'm not 100% sure on these. We're going to have to just learn it as we go, but it has to do with something with if you go underground. I don't know exactly what you call it, where you go underground or not, but we'll find that out. But there's a character token. Each character gets a character token too as well. And also in the box you get these fancy dancy 4 dice that are kind of like goldish color, I guess, but they're pretty cool. We'll use them for the gameplay instead of other dice. Now I already got the game board set up. So set up, these are monster cards, and monster cards has different stats. And also they have, which is called escape penalty. So you can try to escape from a monster. We're going to find out how you escape from a monster, because I'm sure I'm going to try to run away from some during the game. And when we escape, you can get penalty, like he hits you in the back or the monster hits you in the back in some way. These are stairs so that you can go down to the underground. Again, I can't remember what the name of it is, but we'll learn this. And you get a lot of tokens. So these tokens, so there's like a torch. So I guess that's like a search or something, I'm assuming. We'll find that out. Oh, on the other side has something else. I don't know what that is. We'll find that out. And I'm assuming these are like your hit points or hit value that goes against your health. They got 1s and 5s. Now these things look pretty creepy. I don't know if you can get focus on that. Yeah, they look, maybe they're for monsters. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out as we go along. Again, I briefly skimmed through the book and just kind of got set up. And that's about all I did for reading the instructions. Another thing that I want to talk about are these are the dungeon map tiles. So you can see their doors here. This is flipped over because on the other side it's actually double-sided. And this is what the hero goes into. So what I do understand about this game, what I read, was the arrow has to go to the way you are leaving. So the hero would be here, so you'd have to line this up so you're walking into here. Now this would be a dead end one because there's no other doors around. You see the little torch icon? No, I guess that's for searching. And this here icon right here, that kind of looks like one of the cards, so I would safely bet that it's a dungeon card you would draw when you land on this, possibly. Anyway, you get a lot of these tiles and you have to lay them down. You can see like it's all broken into square grids, so I guess you have to lay them down. So I don't know exactly what you have to do for the solo mission, but we will certainly find that out. But before that, I really love the way they got this board set up, what I can see so far, because you have all of these cards that you're going to play in some point or another of the game. So, and they have them laid out. They have the icon. Oh no, there we go. That was really bad. Let's try that again. So you have the cards and you match the artwork on the cards to the artwork on the board, and it'll tell you exactly where to put them. So this one here says Dungeon Deck. Haha. So Dungeon Deck goes there, and then you have Crypt Deck, Corpse Deck? Interesting. Door Deck, Search Deck, Trap Deck, oh, just like D&D, get traps. Treasure Deck, and Catacomb Deck, and your Dragon Deck. Ah, that's what it is. So when you go underground, I couldn't remember the name of it, it's Catacomb, so you go into Catacomb. So these entryways is entryways to the Catacomb. So I don't know if Catacomb is worth going down or staying above or whatever, we'll find out. And you can see there's a little like treasure room right here. We're gonna find out what that's for. And that's pretty cool. I'm just showing one more time the types of cards there. And also too, as well as I noticed in here, you have like spots, 4 spots, and it's a 1 to 4 player game. So I'm assuming that is where you start your players at. So another thing that I do know is up here, you have a little icon right here and it's a sun. This is your sun tracker. So every time you take a turn, your sun sets. Now there's numbers down here and I'm not 100% sure what the numbers are for, but we'll find out. All I can say is there's a 5 and it has a skull, so that means you die, I'm assuming. What basic video online tutorials I watched in this, it kind of, everybody said the same thing, which was that the game is extremely difficult. So I'm gonna put that to the test. So again, let's start off playing DungeonQuest solo mission. So since I'm the only player, I'm going to start here. Again, there's 3 other options that I could start on the board, but I'm going here. So in the book for a solo mission, it says that you're pretty much what you do is you take one of the dragon tiles or dungeon tiles, you flip it over, you go into it, and you perform any tasks that are onto it until you can move ahead and so on and so forth. Now, one thing what I did notice, I should say, into the rule book is there are 2 things that a player can do on their turn. Now, the first thing, I can't remember, I will look that up. So in the learn to play part and also the rules reference, it gives you to play the game that the DungeonQuest is played over a series of turns beginning with the first player and proceeding clockwise. Since there's only 1 player at solo, so it don't have to keep going clockwise. Each player completes his entire turn before the next player takes his turn. The turn consists of 2 phases, which the player follows in this order. So again, it's an order play that you have to do. So the first thing is called status phase. You can see right there. The player resolves abilities on cards in his play area that occurs at the start of his turn. If it is the first player's turn, he advances the sun token 1 space on the sun track. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. And then we have the action part. So with the action phase, the player chooses one of the following actions. Okay, so you only get to do 1 action. You can move, you can search and you can enter the catacomb. Interesting. And then it goes on with exploring, you know, moving and so forth. But you know what? I'm not going to bore you with reading through the manual together, even though it's only a short little manual. But we're going to play the game. Anything arises that we don't think is right, we will look and read it and then continue on with the game. So this is just a movement example thing. So anyhow, let's go to the game. So with Hugo is going to play, the first thing in the book it said is you take the sun tracker and you advance it one before you do anything. All right. So next, we got to decide where Hugo's going to go. Is he going to go this way or this way? And then we're going to draw a dungeon tile, and then we're going to go. You can hear the rattling. I put all the dungeon tiles in this big container so that I can just randomly select something and we can proceed. So, let's see. We got this one. Okay, where am I going to go? Let's place it right there. All right. So, the arrow, it points from the way that the character went, and also what I read in the instructions is you can see it has this kind of door icon on it, I guess, and it also has a search token icon. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab the dungeon deck card and read that and see what that will say, and we'll move on from there. One thing I forgot to mention is into the rules reference, reading about the solo mission. Our objective, our sole objective for solo objective is to make our way up to the treasure chest, grab at least one treasure card. That don't count for the loot cards. You just need to at least have one card from here, which is a treasure card. And once you pull that out, then what you're going to do is you're going to make your way back whatever way you can and exit before the sun track goes all the way up to there. Let's look what the numbers are for the sun track before I continue, because I have no clue about that one. According to the rules reference sheet, that once the sun track marker starts on the numbers, what happens is you're going to roll a single die and it has to be greater than that number. If you succeed, the mission continues. If for any reason you roll less than, well, you're not going to roll less than a 1, but if you roll less than the number that you're on, the game ends, the doors to the dungeon are closed and sealed forever, and whoever's inside dies. Now again, that's for solo as well as the game where you play up to 4 players. So let's continue on. Another thing that I forgot to mention too as well is on your character sheet, or character card I should say, you have icons such as the fist, I don't know what kind of icon that is, a shield, and a sun, I guess, and you have numbers by them. So we all know that this is for the health. But what that is, if you look in the rule book, the fist is for your strength. Your other sign is your, oh, that's your standing on one hand. That's it upside down. I didn't know what that was for. I didn't know what the hell that looked like. But anyhow, that's what it is. You're standing upside down on one hand. So then it's your agility. Your shield is your armor. And the star is the luck. So what it says in here for testing attributes is when you are going to test, like if a card says test your strength. So you're going to roll your 2 dice. And you're going to add the both of them up, and they have to be, so for this guy's strength, for Hugo's strength, he has 7. So if I roll the 2 dice for a strength test, I would have to get 7 or lower to pass the test. If I don't pass the test, then what happens is I get a determination token, I think they're called. Now, I didn't know that's what it was, but I looked it up. So this is your search token. So whenever you search a room, you have to lay this down in that room. That means that it can't be searched by nobody else. So on the other side, the flip side, these are the determination tokens. I think they're called determination tokens. I'll double check into that, but pretty much what these determinations are for is that every time you fail a task, you get one of these added to your character sheet. So what does that mean, your determination tokens, you say? Okay, so here they are called determination tokens. I was right on that. But it says players acquire determination tokens by failing attribute tests. So with that strength test that I mentioned, if I rolled higher than his strength value, then I would fail and I would get a determination token. So after a player rolls his dice during the attribute test, he may spend any number of his determination tokens by removing them from the hero sheet and returning them to the supply. Each determination token he spends subtracts 1 point from the total value of his dice roll. And on the opposite side of the determination token is a search token. So pretty much what that means, what I'm gathering here, is just say I was doing strength again. His strength is 7, and I rolled. Oh, well, I kind of passed there. But just say I rolled. I could have just kept that on 3. Anyhow, so I rolled an 8. So that is 1 past my determination token. I mean, my strength. So therefore, I would have failed it because I would have, to succeed, it's equal or less than. So what I would do is I would get a determination token right here because I failed the attribute test. So on the next roll, just say I had to do, I want to test for, they asked for strength again. So I rolled and I got the same thing, but I have a determination token. So what happens is, just say I rolled a 7, not a 7, an 8 I should say. So therefore I failed the test by 1. I could spend one of these to reduce this by 1. Therefore, it would equal my strength value, so that would mean I'd pass the test. So this is kind of like get out of the dungeon free card, maybe? I don't know. Let's just call it that. So anyhow, that's the determination tokens. Where we left Hugo is that he decided to enter in the dungeon no matter how many people told him, no, Hugo, no, you are glorious, but you shall not enter the dungeon, because if you do, you may not return. But, you know, he didn't care. He didn't listen to them because he's a warrior. He just likes to challenge himself all the time. So we randomly pulled a tile card, and now if you look onto it, where it's facing the way it's supposed to, search token, and we also have the dungeon card. So that's a dungeon deck. So if you look here, there's a dungeon deck. That means I pull one up and I flip it over. Oh, empty. The room is empty, nothing happens. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We will determine that as time goes on. So anyhow, I discard that. And then I'm done on my turn, because you can only do 1 action, remember, per turn, not including your status phase. So I'm going to move the track up 1. So we have to get some moseying going on here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search. Why not? So how do you search? Well, what I see is a card stack here, and right here it says, where am I at? Oh, there we are. It says search deck. So I'm assuming you take one of these and you flip it over. Oh, it says secret door. You may immediately move to any adjacent space. If the space is unexplored, place a chamber tile as normal. If you encounter a monster, you cannot escape. I guess I should probably bring it over here so you can see it better. So we get a secret door. So what that means is, because my actions are up, because I did a search, I can automatically pull another one and put it adjacent to it. So I'm just going to grab another one here. You can hear me shaking, the camera's shaking. Now let's see where we're going to put, oh, there's a door there. So I don't think we can exit the door unless we do something. We have to roll for agility or something. We'll find out. But do you know what? I'm going to take this one and I'm going to place it right there. So this looks like a hallway. Again, the arrow is pointing the way that Hugo can go. So since he did this and he placed it into the hallway, now I can go in here. Actually, no. So let's look at that secret door thing again, just to make sure. So you may immediately move any adjacent space. Okay, so I may move any adjacent space. So I don't have to move there if I don't want to. Place your chamber tile as normal. If you encounter a monster, you cannot escape. So I may move into that if I want, but again, I want to get up here to get a treasure card. So I'm going to definitely move into there. So that looks like a hallway to me, so I got 2 possibilities. I can go for the next one. Next, we're going to advance the sun track 1, and we continue on. So next thing, again, just draw a card, a map card, and we place it. Now, we have a choice of going this way or this way. This is the tile card that I drew, and it looks like just like a 4-corridor hallway. It has a dungeon icon onto it, and it has a search token. The card that we just laid down there has neither the search token or the dungeon deck card. So, you know what? Let's put it here. See what happens. Now we're going to jump up here, and we got to get a dungeon deck card. Wow. Another empty one. Like, what the hell's going on? I shouldn't complain, though, because it may be a bad thing. It may be a good thing. I don't know. But we'll find out what it is. So, again, drew another dungeon deck, and it's empty. So I discard that, and it's on to the next turn. So we just move the tracker up here again. And then we're in here. So what I want to do is I'm going to push my luck and search again. Right there, because... you know, searching's not a bad thing. I don't think so. Okay, I take that back. Searching is a bad thing. If it can get in focus here. Okay, so it's a Ferox. Roll 1 die. The result is the Ferox life value. Then test strength. If you succeed, the Ferox loses 1 life. If you fail, suffer 1 wound. Continue testing strength until the Ferox life value reaches 0 or until you die. Oh, so pretty much we are locked in combat with this Ferox guy. I can't get in focus. Pretty cool artwork. There we go. So we're locked in combat with this Ferox monster creature. We cannot escape. We can't do anything, but we only have to fight him to the death. Let's see what happens. So as the cards say, you take 1 die, roll it, and that is his life value. Watch me get a 6. Oh, look at that. Just called it right on the... Lovely. So now we have to... I have to battle him and see if I'm going to be able to beat him down or he's going to kill me. I got 16 health, so, you know, it could be okay. So now what I'm going to do, I need my both hands for this so that we can do the combat phase. And plus, again, the combat for this is a little different than if you play with more people. So we're going to learn this as we go along. All right, so I am going to combat the Ferox. Now, this is a monster. It didn't come at the monster deck itself. So because of that, the combat still kind of stays the same, but it's going to change when we have to draw a monster. I'm just letting everybody know. So I'm reading here the solo play and for the combat and everything. So it says here that when you are fighting a monster in solo play, you can attempt an escape. And that is before combat. You only have 1 chance to escape. So I guess if you don't escape, if you choose not to escape a monster in combat, or if you fail, I should say, is trying to escape a monster in combat, then you're going to start fighting. So just say this was a monster card hypothetically here. So the way that the book says is it's flipped over. Now the monster cards look like that right here. But this is kind of like another monster card that we have right here. The Ferox. That was just pulled out from the search, like he was hiding in the room. It's like, haha! So, with this Ferox, what it is just say that this was an original monster card. The way that you battle monsters in the solo mission is it's flipped over. And what I understand is every monster has an escape penalty. So what happens is just say I want to escape this monster, then I would have to roll my agility. And my agility is just standing upside down. So I would have to take 2 dice and roll. And what I got there, I got to keep this kind of in check. For agility, it's 5, 6, 7. So I would have failed it, so I wouldn't have been able to escape. So then the combat would have ensued. But because of this card, this is not your normal monster, and it don't have any escape penalties or what have you. We have to battle this guy to the end. we have no way of escaping. We just fight him and that's it. So because of that, we're gonna have to battle. I'll show you how to battle. But if I rolled, just say 4, now my agility is 5. So if I rolled a 4, that would mean that I successfully was able to escape him. But again, every time you escape, it's like you're turning around and you're running away from him. So the monster could blah, 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 hit you in the back. So then some cards have escape penalties, so then you would take that many wounds onto it. But where this is not a normal monster, it's in the search deck, that does not apply. We just have to start fighting and see what happens from there. Okay, so now where I'm gonna fight this, these are combat cards. This is where I seen the rock, paper, scissors thing. So this here, you have 3 cards, rock, paper, scissors, but I don't think they're called rock, paper, scissors. And on the back, it's monster range. For this card here, it says hero card, wounds dealt, wounds suffered. Monster melee, and it's the same. So it's pretty much, it's a card that has a chart onto it that you compare when you're doing it. So I'm just gonna mix these up because we gotta battle this monster with 6 health points, which sucks. And again, the hero got the same thing. They got a melee, they got a magic, and they also have a range. So again, just going to turn these over, and I'm going to randomize this just because I have no idea what I'm doing here. And I pick one, drop it down. So now what happens here, these are not really in camera there, but it's all right, I'll just flip them over, I don't have to move the camera. So I'm going to flip the monster card and see what he has. So he fought in melee. And what did poor Hugo do? Oh, he fought in melee. Ooh, this is awesome. Now, what that means is because Hugo's ability, he has a special ability, which is if you and the monster player chooses the same type of combat card, the monster player suffers 1 wound and you suffered 0 wounds, overriding the result listed in both combat cards. Nice. So because this was lucky, like this, what I'm going to do is we're just going to use the die here to keep track of the monster's wounds because there's 6 so far. So I knocked him down 1, and good old Hugo never took a damage because he's fast and he's armored. So let's do this again. Pick these up, shuffle them around, and shuffle these ones around. All right, now we play a monster card. You've got range. Oh, look, okay. I'm not messing around with these cards. This is legit. I'm not trying to screw around to try to set these up. So that's pretty cool though, because of this, we both have it again, the monster range and the hero range. The monster will actually go down to 4. So I already knocked it into 4. So what I'm going to do is, you don't have to see me battling every time, it gets boring. So when I'm either defeated or if the monster's defeated, I will record the camera and we'll go on from there. Okay, so I just did another flipping of the cards and everything. This time we got 2 different results. So the monster played a range one and a hero played the melee. So let's look at the monster card first here. So with the monster card, it has different charts. So monster range, you see hero card. So if a hero played the range, wounds dealt would be 1, wounds suffered would be 1. And melee, wounds suffered, wounds dealt will be 1 and 0 suffered. So again, and so forth. So therefore, let's compare the both of them. So the hero did melee. So let's go by this one's for the melee first. So the monster did a melee. He deals 1 wound, and the hero deals melee, I should say. He deals 1 wound and suffers no wounds. Oh, that's not good. So let's look at this one. The monster, he uses his range. he deals 0 wounds, but he suffers 1 wound. So again, this is opposite. So whatever the hero's card is, it'll tell you what the monster takes, or the monster gets, the hero will do. So that's what it is. So because of this, so wounds suffered for the hero is 1, because he shot him with the crossbow. And wounds suffered for the monster is 0. So therefore, poor Hugo here, takes a hit. So, oh, there's the heart. He's hurt. Get him, but he's got 15 left. So again, let's continue on combat. All right. So again, I just looked in the book for confirmation on that's how you do it. And if we were playing a cooperative game, well, not cooperative, but more than 1 player game, this is how you fight. But because we're playing solo game, this is not how you fight. So that's completely wrong there. So by the looks of it, we don't even use the combat cards at all. So let's just put them to the side here. So it's just dice you use for the solo game. So right here, I don't know if you can see that. So fighting in combat. At the start of each round of combat, roll 1 die and consult the chart below. So 1 to 2, you suffer 1 wound. 3 to 4, you and the monster each suffer 1 wound. 5, the monster suffers 1 wound. 6, the monster suffers 2 wounds. So again, that is how you do it. So I guess we just have to bring back the monster's health life to 6 and just go on from there. All right, let's do this the proper way. So Hugo's fighting the Ferox or Ferox, I don't know. He's fighting the monster that looks like a Hulk almost. So you take a die, 6-sided die, and you roll it. Consult the chart. So I got 2. So what that means for this 1 to 2, you suffer 1 wound. Nice. So like Hugo is down. So I don't have to stop this because it's gonna go by pretty quick. So let's roll again. 1 to 2, Hugo suffers a wound. 3 to 4, you and the monster suffer a wound. So the monster goes down to 5, and you suffer another wound. So, we already lost 3 of our health. This is like not a good thing. Let's keep going. 1, oh, that was a 1. Anyhow, Hugo suffers another wound. 4. Now on the chart number 4, it says 3 or 4, you and the monster suffer each a wound. So this is starting to hurt really bad. Like this monster's knocking me down. 5, the monster suffers 1 wound. Yes. So the monster is down to 3. There it is. So the monster has 3 hits, and Hugo got 5 already. Like, come on, Hugo, you can do this. 1, guess what? Hugo suffers another hit. 5, yes, the monster suffers 1 wound. So the monster goes from 3 to 2. 2 wounds left. 2 wounds left. Come on, Hugo, you can do this. 1 to 2, Hugo suffers a wound. You suck. Come on, Hugo. That was off camera, I don't know, or maybe it wasn't. I'm not looking at the viewfinder, but that's 2. So Hugo sucks because he gets another wound. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm not going to use all of these up. That's 3, 4, 5. I'm just moving them out the way. And they made it convenient so you don't have to use all of these 1 heart tokens. So that's 5, 6, 7. That's 8 Hugo got so far. So let's continue on. 2, 4. Yes. No, actually not. You and the monster suffer a wound. So that still sucks, kind of. So monster's down to 1 wound. Let's go. Last battle. 2. Yeah, Hugo suffers another wound. Damn it. Come on, baby. 2. Holy crap. Hugo suffers another wound. 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is really bad. From the reviews that I did here, that I seen, not that I did, again, this game proves to be very difficult, and now I can see why it can prove to be very difficult. We only got 3 tiles in, so actually the sun track should be up here. So 3 tiles in, and we're already got 11 hits on us already from one single monster from doing a search. Rule of thumb, people, is try not to do as much searches. That many searches. 6. Oh baby, the monster suffers 2 wounds. So guess what? Blah, the monster's dead. Blah. He's dead. The monster is dead. Thank gosh. All right, after that not so great battle, Hugo's health is 16, but after the battle, he already suffered 11 wounds. Like, he's only got 5 left. Like, that sucks. He can die. Like, I don't like that. Oh, but also it says here, each time you defeat a monster in combat, draw 1 rune card. Nice. So guess what? Hopefully this will maybe increase our health back or something. Where's the rune cards at? Oh, these things right here, I think, are the rune cards, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, these are the rune cards. I just had to look at the icon in the book because I really didn't know. So, let's see if he got anything good here. Rune of Dragonfire. Discard when you are about to draw a dragon card. Return all of the dragon cards to the deck and shuffle it. Oh, I guess I should bring it over there so you can read. That's not bad. I'm not going to argue there. So, this game is really starting to look really hard because I'm only down to 5 more hit points. This may be a short video. Just a quick rules correction. Again, I'm going to make rules because this is the first time we played this solo mission. So, in here, just on setup, it says, it gives how to set up the board, which we did. But in here, for number 9, if you can read, it says, draw ruin cards. Starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise, each player draws 1 rune card and places it face up next to the sheet. So what that means is I should have had another rune card besides the one here. So I'm going to draw another one because, you know, you got to stick with the rules and see what this is. And this is a status rune. Discard at the end of your status phase to take an additional turn at the end of this turn. Okay, so therefore I can just take an extra turn before I have to move the sun marker up, so that could be pretty good. But every time, what I'm understanding with these rune cards is you use one, you discard it, so it don't stay with you. So good and bad, I guess. In either case, I am down to 5 more health and I'm dead. Gulp. So anyhow, let's continue on. Draw on another tile card here. Let's see what we get here. Oh, lovely. That don't look good. That looks like spider webs. So it has to go with the arrow here. So I'm going to place it here. So I don't like the spider webs at all. I don't like the look of that, but he has to go in there. There's no other icon, but there's spider webs. So I don't know if this is a specialty tile, so let's look, see what it tells us about the spider web tile. Okay, the tiles is in the Learn to Play book. And okay, it's hard to do this with one hand. So let's flip it over here and let's see what it says about the spider webs. So for the spider webs, immediately move again, ignoring doors and the portcullis. I can't even pronounce that word. That's really bad. Anyhow, if you exit through any hall or hall other than the hall you enter, test strength. If you succeed, exit the chamber normally. If you fail, end your turn. If you begin your turn here, you must successfully test strength before you can move. So the way this is worded, if you exit through any hall, or wait, immediately move again, ignoring doors and the gates, the iron gates. Everybody's laughing at me right now, I know. If you exit through any hall other than the hall you enter, test strength. If you succeed, exit the chamber normally. If you fail, end your turn. So what I got to do is, because I rolled or I mean, I pull the card, the dungeon tile, I put it down, and I'm here. So what I need to do then is I need to test my strength. And before I do that, I forgot to move the sun tracker up. Darn, I'm gonna keep forgetting that. Give me extra turns. Oh darn, I'm joking. Anyhow, so now I gotta test my strength, and my strength is 7, so I take my 2 dice, and I roll them. 6, 7, 8. So I failed. But where I failed, this is where the determination tokens come into play. So I'm just placing the determination token on my character, but my turn ends, so I'm done. So because of that, it's next turn I'm gonna move that sun tracker up. So I ended my turn there because I failed. So I'm thinking I didn't really have to go that way, but we're just gonna push on from there. So before I can try to get through the spider webs, I'm going to have to roll again for my strength. See if I can break through them spider webs. I got a 2 and a 5. 5, 6, 7, and my strength is 7. Let's see right there. Here's the strength. So it's equal or lower, so I'm able to successfully go through. So again, I'm just going to move the sun track up, and I'm going to draw another one. I'm not liking this at all. Well, I love the game, it's really fun, but I'm not liking that, you know, some quarters are just like hell. So which way am I gonna go? Let's go this way. Yeah, that's again another different kind of tile. So I think that might be just obstacles. Let's check to see if there's a specialty tile in the book for that one. Okay, so this type of tile is actually called a corridor. The same with the one down here that we should have just immediately moved again after we drew a corridor. But again, I'm going to make rule mistakes, so we're just going to keep playing forward. So this is a corridor. So what it said is on your turn, if you draw this, you're going to immediately continue movement. So go one more, because it's just a corridor, I guess. So I'm going to grab another one. This here is like just a hallway, or not a hallway, but anyhow, that's just another tile. So you immediately exit, or not exit, you immediately move again. So we moved again, we drew the tile again. If I played this wrong, please, please, please make a comment down below so I can learn how to play it properly. I'm just reading instructions and I'm going by that, but again, I may be reading them wrong. So in the corridor, it does say there are a wide variety of corridors, but they all function the same. Immediately move again, ignoring doors and iron gates, or whatever that word is, I can't say. When exiting, you cannot exit the chamber through the hall by which you entered unless all other halls are blocked. So pretty much what that is I'm entering here and I immediately move again, but I couldn't exit back here, which is fine because I don't want to go through them stinking spider webs again. Screw that. So yeah, I moved here. So because I did that, let's just move on. You have a dragon or a dungeon deck card. You know, I'm kind of worried about this. It's another empty one. Like, these are all shuffled. Why am I getting all empty ones? Crap, I want to know what that means. Watch me just be screwed anyhow. So anyhow, that's done. Sun track goes up. And now it is time for me to go again. So I drew another one and I looked because I was confused with this one because is this a specialty tile? But apparently it's not. It's just another dungeon tile or dungeon room. So I drew it. I go in and there's the icon for a dungeon deck card. And I get a dungeon deck card. Finally, something, but what the heck does it say? Dead adventurer. You may loot the body for treasure. If you choose to do so, draw a corpse card. Do you know what? First time, I'm going to draw a corpse card. Because it just sounds cool. Corpse cards right here. So let's see, I draw one. See what happens. What? Oh, look what I got. Gold coins. I get 200 gold coins. Nice. So there we go. And that's the end of that turn. So I'm kind of losing track of how many sun, I should move the sun token, but what's really cool is you can just count your tiles and you'll tell where you're at. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you should be up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I am right. So start of my next turn, I move up. So when I searched last time, there was a monster there. So I don't know if I want to search, but I want to try to make my way up here. Now there may be other ways of getting treasure cards or whatever, but I don't really know. Because it says treasure deck down here, but how do you draw treasure decks? Interesting, I don't know. Let's find out. This is the treasure room, obviously. So where you get the treasure cards is going to be in the treasure room. So in the instructions it says you'll have to pull a dragon card and then it'll tell you about certain things. So this takes up 2 spaces on the board, but it counts as 1 space. That's another thing it said. Another thing that I want to point out that I didn't point out before because I didn't know, but I just read it in the book, was that no hero can occupy the same space as another hero, except for in here. You can have as many heroes you want in here, but on the dragon tiles, or dungeon tiles I should say, no heroes. So that just helps. So anyhow, and what I said about the objective of the game is you have to have at least 1 treasure card, not including loot cards, and exit safely. So as you can see with the dungeon track where we are, we got a little ways to go and we're really close, so we may win the game, I don't know. Next turn what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try to search because I don't want a monster there. I did search, however, down here, and I forgot to put a search token, so let's do that now. So I searched in this room right here, so that should have been there, which means I can't search there again. Now, I may have searched more than once. I did, because I have 2 search ones, so I searched in another room. Now, I have to try to remember what room it is that I searched. Was it at the beginning? So let's see, that one has a search, that has a search, and that one has a search, and so does that. So I'm just going to say, because I really can't remember, is I searched at the beginning. So there's 2, because all I did was what's really good is you can backtrack all of your stuff. I have 2 search cards that I did, so therefore I searched twice. So on with the show, shall we? So I'm going to get another one, another dungeon tile, and I'm going to draw it and pull it out and lay it down there and see what the hell happens. All right, so I drew my tile. I had to change my battery though, that's why it was laying down. So we got another dungeon tile. Oh, it's a dead end. Lovely. So let's put it here. I don't know if we have a choice of where we can put them, but I think it as long as it points towards the way that we entered. So I entered this room, so I should be able to put it wherever I want, but the arrow got to point that way. So there's that one, but I am not going to go in there. Actually, I think I have to. I have to move here, and I got to draw a dungeon deck, which is probably going to be empty or loot. Oh no! Okay, this may just end the game here because this might have just killed me. So this is an ambush card. It obviously encounter a monster. So I'm going to have to fight a monster again, and we all know what happened the last time. I only got 5 wounds to do this. This is really scary. So I laid my monster token down there, and now, crap. I grab a monster card, which is right here. Now, I'm not even looking where that is because this is solo play. I could automatically try to choose or try to escape him without battling him. But I also will get an escape penalty. And to do that, I have to roll my strength, I think it is, or my agility. But let me double check on that. According to the rules, because it's solo play, you can try to escape the monster only once. You're not allowed to look at this card yet, so I don't know what the penalty is or what have you. So what you do is you roll for your agility, and my agility is 5. So after you roll your agility, if you get equal or lower, you successfully escape from the monster. You don't take a penalty, and there, you just leave the monster token there for anybody else, and you get to move one tile ahead. So I'm gonna try to escape first because no penalty. 5, 6, 7. Guess what? I never escaped, and I can't really discard. I don't have enough determination tokens to continue on, like, so I think I might have to battle him. So from where I successfully failed at trying to escape from the monster, and according to the book, you take the monster card now and you flip it over, and you'll suffer that many escape penalties. So here you see this is escape penalties, and this is the health is 4. We're fighting a golem. So I take 2 hits right up the top because I was chicken trying to run away, but I couldn't do it. So there's that. So that is 10, 11, 12, 13, and I got 16 health. So do you know what? I got 3 left. Where was I getting 5 left? Like, that's 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so I can't math properly at all. Haha. Anyhow, so here we go for the battle. So I gotta battle the golem, and again, because this is a solo game, we play differently by rolling dice instead of using a rock, paper, scissors. So I got my dice in hand, my die in hand. I'm gonna fight this golem. 2. Guess what? I take a wound. Lovely. I'm sorry there, Hugo the Glorious, but you know, you're down to 2 more health. What am I going to do here? Let's go. 3. 3 to 4, you and the monster suffer each a wound. So the monster had 4. I forgot to mark this right from the get-go here. So it was 4, but now the monster takes a wound and I take a wound, so therefore go down to 3. And myself, right here, goes down 1 more wound, so that's 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I got 16. So I can't escape him because it's only able to escape once in solo play. I got 1 health left to fight this stinking golem monster, and he has 3 health left. Let's see what happens here. 2. I just choked. Oh no, Hugo the Glorious is not so glorious anymore because he lost against that monster. I'm so sad. So Hugo died, but in the book it does say death can wait. So you can respawn, but again, once the sun tracker hits the end, there's no respawning. So where I'm going to respawn, what happens is this monster card is gone. The monster is not dead, but this monster is kind of just, he kind of went back in the shadows after eating my dead carcass and being full. So that monster's gone. The monster token stays here. I get rid of all of my health, but I also get rid of all my cards. And also my determination tokens, which I have 1 of, which sucks. So that goes there too as well in the pile. But what the thing is that it says, and I don't like this because it makes the game even harder, is that the hero to my left, but the thing is I'm only playing solo, gets to place him on another tile or another unexplored edge. And from there, they have to begin the turn just like you started right from the get-go. So I'm going to take him because I'm the person on the left, and I'm going to place him in the tower chamber over here. So yeah, I'm starting all over again. Lovely. I think this game is getting to be a lost cause now because that many is left of the sun tracker. I have to be pretty fast to do this. And I can't go the way I started building up. I was so close to going to the treasure card, but I didn't go to the treasure chamber. So anyhow, can't cry over spilt milk too long, so I'm going to keep continuing on with him, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to draw another dungeon tile card. I'm going to place it down and continue on, and we'll see where I'm at. The tile that I drew, again, is another, it's kind of like a specialty tile, I guess. Looking in the book, it is a chamber of darkness. It has numbers on the 2 exits. So what you have to do in this case is you have to take a die and you have to roll and compare, and that's where you move it through. So I get a 5. So because I got a 5, I have to go this way. So pretty much I get no other choice but to go that way. So then I draw another tile card. And look what I got. I got a hallway. So I drew a corridor card, and just as before, you know, you pull another one and you immediately move through. What the heck is that one now? I don't like that. So then he would go here. Oh, and he also got a dragon or dungeon deck card. This game is really hard, but it's a lot of fun. So I have to deal with this, and I also got to deal with whatever that specialty tile is. So just stand by. This card, or this tile, is called a chasm. And with the chasm is the center of the chamber cannot be crossed. So I can't cross this. It's pretty much a dead end for me. So because this is a dead end, what happens is upon entering from a hall, draw a dungeon card. So first off, I got to do a dungeon card because I did enter in from a corridor or whatever. So this, crypt card. You may explore the crypt for treasure if you choose to draw a crypt card. So guess what I'm doing? I'm drawing a crypt card because I never did that yet. So I draw a crypt card from the crypt deck. And what do we have here? Empty. The crypt is empty. Nothing happens. Holy God. All right. At least, yeah, whatever. Ah! So anyhow, so on with the chasm. So pretty much what it's saying is I draw it. I can't go any further, so I have to exit from the way that I came. So I'm done on my turn, so I go there. And that's it. So as you can see, it's going to take me 1, 2, 3 more turns before I get anywhere else. And because it'll take 3 more turns, so 1, 2, and then this would be 3 right here. So because 3 right there, I'm just going to move this up 1, 2, 3. So it is getting pretty close to this, so it's looking more and more that, you know, I'm not going to finish the game. The game's going to finish me. The next card, or tile I should say, that I drew is this one. It's a skull one, so it is a specialty card. I just looked up in the book what this is. And what that is, it's a trap. So I have to draw a trap card, which is right here. So I don't like traps. Let's see what it says. Poisonous gas. Oh, lovely. Roll 1 die, subtract 3 from the result and suffer that many wounds. Then roll 1 die, subtract 3 from the result and lose that many turns. That's not really going to affect me. Well, actually, I'll just have to move the sun track up more. Can't really get that in focus. So anyhow, let's roll a die and see what happens. So I roll a die and I subtract 3 from it, and that's how many wounds I get. So 2 subtract 3. Guess what? Is -1. So I do not take any wounds, which is really good. And then I got to roll another one, and I have to lose that many turns. 3. So let's take the sundial. 1, 2, 3. Goes up 3 more. Lovely. Lovely. So that was a trap card right there. So I took the 3 off the sun track, and I pulled another dungeon tile, and I got another one of these rooms of darkness, or whatever it is. It's dark, it's really bad, so I got to roll to see what I get. If I roll 1 to 3, I just stay where I'm at. Or actually, I'll have to go back in there, and I'm going to have to draw another trap card. If I roll a 4 to 6, then I exit through here. So 4 to 6, come on. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So I get to go further ahead. So I drew another card, and this one counts as one of my turns because it tells me right in the book that I just proceed and I draw the dungeon card right here. So let's see what happens. Oh, I got another crypt card. You may search the crypt. I searched it last time and it was empty. But you know what? Hey, I'm very curious, and I am glorious, Hugo. So guess what? I'm gonna do that. So I searched and decrypted. Oh, look what I got! A hidden trap. Draw a trap card. Yeah. So the trap card that I drew was called Poisonous Snakes. Oh, that actually is pretty cool artwork on there. So on here it says roll 1 die and suffer the number of wounds equal to your result. Well, that's how many wounds I take. Okay, rolling the 1 die, see how many wounds, and I take 3 wounds. Lovely. So Hugo the Fabulous, the Glorious, not Fabulous, sorry, takes 3 wounds. So again, I died and I came back to life in full health while I was until now, so I'm down 3. Not a big deal. So drawing another dungeon tile. Let's see what I get here. Oh, what the heck is that? It's a cave-in. Lovely. So I put it here and I move in. So I get a dungeon card right away first off, so we got to resolve that. And I drew an empty. Well, this is one time that I'm happy that I see that the dungeon card is empty, because that's just killing me. Like, it's really bad going on here. So Hugo the Glorious is okay for now. But now I have to look to see what this cave-in type card tells me. So with this card, it is a cave-in, and upon entering from a catacomb, I'm not doing that, I don't have to read that text. Upon entering from a hall, that's not really a hall, that's a room, but it's a hall, I guess, a dungeon hall. So upon entering, I draw the dungeon card, and I did that. It was empty. So then after that, to exit, I have to test my agility. If I fail, then I just stay where I am. So my agility is 5. Again, standing up, standing upside down on his hand. So my agility is 5, so I have to get 5 or lower to succeed. Oh, I get a 3. That is successful, so I get to draw another dungeon tile and place it down. It's right there. Okay, I see where I'm going here. So anyhow, let's continue on. All right, so continuing on, step into that room and I draw the dungeon deck from the dungeon deck. And again, it's empty. Like, holy crap, this is kind of lucky for me, because I didn't want a trap or a monster or an encounter of any kind, because that would just kill me. So now also too, as well as I see there's a door here, so I can't really do anything. So I think with the door you have to draw a door card, because on here it says door card, so that's what we're going with. But before that, that would be my next turn, so I have to advance the sun track again. So we're getting pretty darn close, so I don't think I'm going to beat this game at all. But anyhow, we just have to press on, because we are a bunch of warriors. We're maniacs. We're maniacs, and we go to the end. So, door deck, right here. Door deck. Door deck, door deck, door deck, right there. So let's pull one up. Now, what does it say? This is the first time I drew a door deck. It's interesting. Door opens. The door opens. Move into an adjacent chamber. Nice. So nothing really happened except that the door opened, and I get to move into an adjacent chamber. So what I drew was just like I guess that's a hallway, whatever we want to go. But anyhow, go there, and I pull a dungeon card. Empty. Okay, there's something going on here, because that's like 3, 4 empty cards that I got in a row. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shuffle. So I'm just going to give them a shuffle, just so, you know, showing it on camera, so they're like, hey, you're cheating. So I'm not cheating, because I am shuffling. Not very well, but I'm still dungeon deck. So they're shuffled. Let's go on. All right, so my next turn here is I'm going to have to go into the spiders. Spiders, I don't know. So I enter, and we know what happens. Upon entering the chambers, or the chamber with the spiders, and if I choose to, I can continue moving, and if I choose to move a different direction, I don't want to go back because that's just not doing anything for me, but I want to go ahead this way. So because I do that, I have to roll for my strength, and my strength is 7. So when I roll for my strength, if I succeed, then it's successful, I move through. If not, I just end my turn back in the spider webs. And I got 5 out of 7. I succeeded, so he's there, yay! Now it's on, move the sun track up next turn. Lovely. Sun track goes up one more. We're getting pretty close to the end. There's no way that I can see me reaching the treasure chest chamber and make my way out before we get to the last part, before the dungeon is sealed completely forever. But again, we're maniacs. We don't care. We're gonna push through this. So anyhow, now this is called an explored tile, and an empty one is an unexplored, and that's an explored tile. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go into the explored tile, but because it's still there, I still have to draw a dungeon card from the dungeon deck and see what happens there. Wow, I got 30 gold. Well, at least I got something back from where I lost everything. So then that's it. I'm done for that, and we got to continue on. So let's move the sun track up again. And then let's draw another card. Now we're getting close to the treasure vault again, or the treasure chamber, or whatever you want to call it. Now, another one I drew. Let's place that in there. Nice. So, crap. At least I don't have to fight monsters. Like, that's good. So there's that. So I have to draw a dungeon card, though. And the dungeon card, it is a crypt. You may explore the crypt for treasure. If you choose to do so, draw 1 crypt card. Do you know what? At this point, does it really matter? No, but I'm doing it because I'm greedy. So, crypt card it is. So we got empty. Of course it's empty. Why would it not be empty? Like, come on. Okay, moving on. So now we're gonna move up here. So let's, because I'm not searching, I'm just gonna keep going. Got another one here. We're getting really close now. I mean, like super close, but you gotta always remember to advance that. So I go in here and I get another dungeon card. Oh, lingering shade. Keep this card while you have this card. Roll 2 dice at the start of your status phase. 2 to 3, you die. Lovely. 4 to 12, take your turn as normal. Discard this card if you enter the catacomb or exit Dragonfire Dungeon. Yes, I'm shaking my leg. All right, anyhow, let's just move on. So let's go. So that was not my status phase. That was just, resolving and then moving. So now we got to move the sun track up again so we can go again. So, oh no, that's the status phase. So we got to roll 2 dice. Get 2 or 3. I got 4. So you just keep moving. So it's fine. Let's grab this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It leads right in. This is awesome. First time I did this. So he goes up, but he got to resolve a dungeon card. And it's empty. Of course it's empty. Why wouldn't it be empty? So that's it for that. So now we got to advance that again. And now it's getting close to the end of the game here. I want to move into that tile, but before I do, I have to roll 2 dice because of this lingering shade card. Oh yeah, lingering shade does nothing. So you know what? Going in there, bum bum bum. Now I don't know what you do when you get to the treasure chamber. Let's read it in the book and find out. So according to the book, where it is a treasure chamber, upon entering, draw a dungeon card, or dragon card. So there's the dragon cards. First I'm pulling one of these. I'm kind of scared. Sleeping. Draw 2 treasure cards. On your next turn, you may either exit the treasure chamber or stay and draw another dragon card. So I'm drawing 2 treasure cards, which is right here, because the stipulation for a solo game is you draw 1. Oh, 300 and 230. Nice. So that kind of ends my turn there because there's nothing else I can do, but you have to move the sun track. There's no way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns that I'm going to be able to exit to safety before it closes. So do you know what? I'm going to push my luck. And yeah. There's nothing else I can do except just keep searching and hopefully I won't wake the dragon. Or if it does, it don't matter because I'm dead anyhow. Aren't you, Hugo? Aren't you, Hugo the Glorious? We're going to die. So yes, at this point, it don't really matter if we move the sun track anymore, but I'm still going to move it anyhow because again, the numbers, you got to roll, remember? So we're just going to play this game to the end. So with Hugo, he's going to, I was fixing the audio cable there, that's why the camera moved a little crazy. So with Hugo, he's going to push his luck again. He's not exiting because there's no way, either path, you're not going to get down here in that many moves. So he's going to draw another one of these dragon cards. It's another sleeping card. It says the same thing. Draw 2 treasure cards on your next turn. You may exit the treasure chamber or stay and draw another dragon card. So yeah, I'm just going to draw 2 more. What do I get there? 420. I'm racking up the money here, like money. Yes. Anyhow, so we advance. Now I have to roll a die and we have to get greater than that or the game ends, and I got a 3, so it keeps going. So I'm just going to keep pushing my luck and see what happens because I know I'm dead anyhow. Sleeping. So another sleeping card, exact same thing. So 2 treasure cards. 160, 140. So move it up. So I have to get 2 or greater, and I got a 5. Everything is good. So let's do another one. See, there's my audio cable. Another one right there. And it's another sleeping card. So because it's another sleeping card, what I'm going to do is get 2 more treasure, because if I'm gonna die, at least I'm gonna die rich. Ooh, Forbidden Tomb. This is something different now. When you start your turn in the treasure chamber, roll 2 dice. 2 to 3, you die. 4 to 5, roll 1 die and suffer a number of wounds equal to the result. 6 to 8, end your turn. 9 to 11 is draw 4 treasure cards, keep 2 and discard the other 2. Number 12 is draw 2 treasure cards and then immediately exit the dungeon. Dungeon? Like, that means I can win. If I roll 12, I can win. I can win. That's right, I'm just, yeah. Nice. When you start your turn, so forth. So, move this up, take the dice, I should say. It's on a 3. And I rolled a 2. I just had to double check the book. I may have made this mistake when I rolled previously, but in either case, for the sun track, I had to roll higher than the number. Not equal, it had to be higher and the game would go on. But because I'm on 3, I rolled a dice and I got 2. So therefore, the doors of the dungeon slam shut. Shut! That's right. They slam shut. And because they slam shut, Hugo, buddy old pal, you're not so glorious anymore. You're not. Because you died. Because you rolled horribly. Not gloriously, but horribly. But the thing is, you know, it's a lot of fun. So this card could have saved me. Could have saved me. But again, it's a big chance if I roll, I'd have to roll 2 6s. So just for giggles, I'm gonna roll 2 dice. See what would happen. Oh, 10! 2 5s, so close, but guess what? Not close enough. I would have drew 4 treasure cards, keep 2 and discard the other 2. So, Hugo. You are dead. That's it. Game over. So there you have it, Board Game Maniacs. This is the first solo gameplay for DungeonQuest, the revised edition. I don't know if I said that at the first. So again, this is the second time the game was released, but it is revised, all the rules. And it did live up. I'm lost for words here, but it did live up to what everybody had said, which is it's a very difficult game to beat. And as you see, we're just have everything strewed over the table here. And poor Hugo, he did make it. He died once. He came back to life, and he made it at least to the treasure chamber, but he did not escape one of the towers before the soundtrack got to the end, and the doors of the dungeon completely closed off forever, trapping Hugo inside with no food, nothing, and all he had to do is just lay down in the pile of gold and wait to die. That was a really fun game, Board Game Maniacs. I have to say, you know, it was difficult, yes, but it kept you entertained. It kept me entertained anyhow, and it kept challenging me. And you know, like, it's a great combination of using minis with cards and with dice. I love board games that use all 3 aspects involved into it. So there you go. This here is in a nutshell the solo game for the DungeonQuest by Fantasy Flight Games. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments, good or bad, please drop in a message down below. I will read it. I will look at everything, and we'll just go from there. So until next time, just play some games with other people, you know, in person, face to face, have human contact with them. Human communication, not using any electronic devices, even though this is on YouTube, on the internet, and also being recorded onto an electronic device, which is the camera. But anyhow, that's beside the point. Just have fun, play some games, and be maniacs.